Good morning and welcome everyone to the Clinical Ethics Conference organized by the Centre's program at the Centre for Biomedical Ethics, Yong Loo Lin School of Medicine, National University of Singapore. My name is Sumytra Menon and I am the co-director of the Centre's program, the Deputy Director at the Centre for Biomedical Ethics. I'm delighted to be co-chairing this panel discussion today. Thank you for your interest and joining us today. We have several hundred colleagues and friends zooming in from Singapore and also from overseas, including our nearby neighbors, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, India, Philippines, and Myanmar, and those from further afield, including New Zealand and Belgium. The theme for this year's conference is new medical disclosure and advice requirements, implications for healthcare professionals. The vast majority of you joining us today are healthcare professionals, particularly doctors, dentists, nurses, and healthcare administrators. And there are quite a few lawyers and educators as well. The Centre's conference takes place today and tomorrow. The session today involves a panel discussion underpinned by 4 cases. Our objective is to facilitate understanding of the effect the new law has on medical advice and information disclosure in practice through these 4 cases. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with the new law, we are referring to Section 37 of the Civil Law Act, which was recently passed by Parliament in the Civil Law Amendment Act. Section 37 is intended to restate the standard of care test in medical negligence regarding the duty to disclose and give advice following from the Singapore Court of Appeal's judgment in He Chi Kok. To be clear, while Section 37 has been passed by Parliament, it is not yet in force in Singapore. The current legal position is still He Chi Kok. All participants should have received the 4 cases and excerpts of relevant materials, including a copy of Section 37 in the participant pack that we emailed out to you yesterday. The program today is divided into 2 halves, where we will discuss the first 2 cases, have a short break, and then return to discuss the remaining 2 cases. We're all hoping for an interactive session and encourage you to post your questions in the Q&A feature in Zoom. Please do forgive us if we don't manage to answer all the questions due to time constraints. Now, I would like to introduce my co-chair for the panel discussion, Associate Professor Roy Joseph. Professor Joseph is the co-director of the Centre's program and emeritus consultant at the Department of Neonatology and Pediatrics at the National University Hospital. Professor Joseph, may I please invite you to say a few words and introduce the members of the panel with us today.
Thank you, Sumi. Good morning, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen, and particularly the esteemed members of our expert panel. We have legal practitioner, Ms. Vanessa Yong, and doctors, Associate Professor Devanand Anandam, and Dr. Tan Chun Chi. Let me first introduce to you Ms. Yong. Ms. Yong is a director at Legal Clinic LLC, has had extensive years of litigation practice, and specializes in medical and healthcare law. Prof. Devanand wears many hats. He's at present the head of the Lung Centre at Sing Health, Duke, NUS. Dr. Devanand is also the deputy chairperson of the National Medical Ethics Committee and is actively involved in his doctoral studies, which involves where he's researching the doctor-patient relationship. Dr. Tan is a specialist surgeon with specialty experience in head and neck surgery. He's also the chairperson of the ethics committee at Sengkang General Hospital. Dr. Tan's subspecialty and particular experience and expertise is in thyroid surgery, endoscopic, and robotic type. So we have with us a group of persons who have extensive experience and expertise in various aspects of the requirements of practice, medical practice. So I'm sure your questions to them and their answers to situations that we have, and in the case that follows, will go a long way in helping you and all of us better understand the implications of the new amendment to the Civil Law Act, Section 37E. So let's get on with our first case.